I don't think I like this guy. He gives me weirdo, slimy worm vibes.
Yes.
And you know what?
This freak got swept for, and it made me look like I was being a retard. It's completely obscene. What am I, chopped liver, bro? Esteemed Rolling Stone mentioned streamer. What podcast? ChudLogic podcast.
It rubs me the wrong way.
Based. Thank
Once
you.
you're creating mass
Holy
media,
man, thank you. Dude, I cannot express how thankful I am that someone's actually covered this and said this through. Okay, guys, so obviously, as you know, there was the Nux Taku thing that happened recently. It's all, you know, it's fucking water under the bridge. I don't fucking care anymore. But it was very frustrating at the time that I felt that I was just doing what I'd normally do, you know, which is just kind of ask a couple of questions. And guys, I don't give two fucks about Edwin, okay? I've said my fucking piece on it. I'm not looking to get into it with a fucking failed, disgraced commentary YouTuber, okay? Fuck me. You guys are fucking telling me to focus on the most minuscule, retarded shit that doesn't fucking matter. Shut up! Okay? Holy fuck, dude. Oh, Glup Shito Scrimblo Bimblo said something about you. Literally don't care. I made a throwaway comment, and they made a whole Spurg stream about me. I couldn't fucking care less, bro, okay? Holy shit, dude. Fuck off. Okay, got more important matters to attend to. I got way more important things to deal with than some failed retard, okay? Right, fuck me, bro. Listen, I'm focused on something more important, more prestigious drama that happened, okay? Fuck me. Jesus. Okay, so, right, follow the content. That's it, you're done. You're out. I'm sick of your little fucking snarky comments. You're done. You're not coming back. It's over. You're banned from all chats. No more. Done. Sick of it. Sick of your little snarky bullshit. It's over. Fuck off. Right. Okay. Let's refocus, okay? Let's refocus. So, Nux Taku. Nux Taku. Nicandros, valued chatter and also harmful opinions enjoyer, has apparently worked on this video with harmful opinions, right? Which I think goes into a little bit of this hypocrisy and the stuff that I wasn't even necessarily aware of, right? I covered some of the stuff that I think Queeman sent to me and told me about, and some of the stuff he tweeted about. But from what I understand, I think that there's like a deeper level here. I think that there's like a deeper element to this where Nux Taku is like completely swerving away from what it used to be like, you know, and really downplaying it all. And from what I understand, there is some like degen shit there that I think isn't really been addressed or spoken about. So, you know, we'll watch it. We'll see what's what. Obviously, I'm a big fan of harmful opinions, so I am very biased. Nicandros is a valued chatter, but I'll do my best to be fair, objective, and give my honest takes about what I see in this video, okay? So let's get into it. I hate Nux Taku.
Chris Tyson drama explosion.
I mean, I think we straight off the you know, the starting blocks. I feel like we know what we're going to be getting here, okay? It's literally just called I hate Nux Taku. That's it. So let's see.
Following the Chris Tyson drama explosion, which included people taking issue with Chris's association with and apparent fandom of an artist called Shadman, many people were quick to call out those who were outraged for perceived double standards. It wasn't just Chris, they said. Many people associated with Shadman and propagated his work, a portfolio which most iniquitously includes pornographic cartoons depicting Keemstar's daughter. Why aren't all these other people being hounded? It was asked. The expectation, presumably, was that everyone simply hates trans people and would ignore this criticism of their Chris hate because they don't truly care. It's just something they can use as a weapon against an LGBTQ individual. However, in actuality, lists were made of collaborators, associates, and supporters of Shadman. Reasons for inclusion on such lists ranged from merely tweeting at him to supporting his art financially or even using it in their own creations. Some of those on these lists caught less flack, and some caught more for various reasons you can imagine. One individual who certainly feels he caught more flack than was due is the VTuber called Nux Taku.
And it seems Nux Taku had private conversations with Shadman throughout 2021. Curious!
Hey.
Curious!
Yo! It's you. It's you, Cope and Seethe.
1.3 million views, 200,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. The point that I'm trying to make here is, for some reason, I became the goddamn enemy numero uno when it comes to this freaking bullshit.
Do you know what this comes across like to me? It's like, ooh, do you know what I mean? You know, like in an old cartoon when someone's like, you know, under the spotlight. Ooh, it's like that, isn't it?
Quickly say, based solely on the content of the video in that tweet, his involvement with Shadman would seem relatively minor. No pun intended. It's a newer clip of Nux calling him a Nazi-ish, pedo-ish guy, alongside older clips sharing that he's received DMs from Shadman. I myself, even, would certainly speak with a freak, especially if they say weirdo stuff that entertains me, and that doesn't suggest a mutually respectful relationship.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so true. To me, the you know, like a private conversation is irrelevant. That doesn't matter, right? Like, obviously, if you're having a conversation and you're like, you know, I really love your art, please draw more of the weird shit. Like, that's maybe different. But like, you do talk to people, right? I mean, it's not that crazy. But clearly, there's more than that I think exists. And that was obviously shared a bit on Twitter. And hopefully Harmful is going to, you know, fill us in even further. That's a fake Shadman, by the way. That is not really Shadman. That is a troll, just to be clear in chat, okay? You know. Anyway, it's just to say that, like, yeah, there's a reasonableness to this, okay? It doesn't need to be a fucking witch hunt. And my take on it was always, you just need to be honest and accurately represent what your role was if you want to talk about it. Either ignore it, either you ignore it and you just take the heat from the shit from it, and that's that, or you talk about it, but you do it openly and honestly. And it feels like both Elvis the Alien and Nux Taku, you know, didn't do that. It's like they wanted to downplay it and they wanted to, like, not fully address the situation, you know? And it's, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, with Shadman, like, the shit he was doing was pretty whack. You know, I don't think there's an argument strongly if you were associating with him regularly or communicating or looking at stuff regularly that you wouldn't have known how bad it was, you know. Particularly when you're sharing the website like Ava Chris Tyson was. I think there's some plausible deniability that I would accept if it's like a couple of tweets, but, you know, there was definitely a bit of sweeping going on.
So far. Less comfortable a piece of evidence, though, for many, is that Nux Taku once requested to collab with Shadman, presumably for a video.
This is gonna be fun. I like this one a lot. Someone tags me, probably this guy. I don't remember what this was about. Shadman says, a bit too middle school. I say, wanna collab? He says, Lamau, no, but your heart's in the right place. I say, understandable, have a nice day. I'm here when you come around.
This information was amplified to a large audience by Keemstar, but Nux Taku had an explanation.
People are making this as some sort of, I am supporting him and I'm trying my best to become friends with Shadman, this monster. Which is fucking stupid if you know my content at all. I troll confront people when I collab the same way you do, talking to Keemstar, on LOLcow, and if you watch my videos, you know that. I don't mind if you hate me, but at least hate me for the right reasons.
So it would have been a confrontation. He would have owned Shadman. Nux further clarifies.
I am going to prove the point of my troll confront people shtick. Okay, so let me pull up my original tweet where I covered this, because I did in fact mention this over here. So I say, people saying I'm a liar because of these tweets. Aside from not knowing the extent of his shit then, meaning I didn't know about the Keemstar daughter shit, I'd collab with all kinds of scum. Most of my collabs are trolling, and I was gonna grill him. I'd interview EDP. I never commissioned, promoted, been friends with him.
Okay. You could easily imagine someone getting EDP onto a call to treat as a punching bag, although perhaps simply imagining things isn't enough, and it certainly wasn't enough for the YouTuber Lyrics.
Lyrics commentary YouTuber fellow says, good faith question, hoping you could clarify. This is huge, because most questions, not at all good faith. So you didn't know the extent of his shit then, but you were going to grill him at the same time. If you did get that collab, what would you grill Shad on? From what I remember, he was known as the guy who drew minors sexually. You didn't know that? The rare good faith question. I knew about the lolly stuff and some of his art, like the bestiality with fictional children, etc. Definitely enough to grill the guy. Holy shit, there is so much more. Like, there is so much more than just that. That is the worst, and that would have been the hard cutoff for me to not even respond to the guy, probably. But I legitimately was gonna grill the guy. If you've seen my collabs, I didn't know about Keemstar's daughter, although that's the less important part of my tweet. Collabs are not promotions or condonement in any way on my channel.
He would have bullied him, crushed his soul over already, lowly bestiality. I should disclose to you at this point, dear viewer, the fact that I have a little bird sitting on my shoulder who goes by the name Nicandros and is a regular in my Twitch chat.
Yo,
he showed me some things,
based.
And because of that, this is where I start to feel a niggling doubt. For instance, I mean, he did specify clearly child bestiality is what he has an issue with, so it's not the same, but goddamn, the line for what he considers freak shit suited only for ripping on has got to be a bit closer to Shadman than it is for me. I mean, cartoon woman being raped by a dog in a public humiliation ritual crosses it easily for me, personally. You know me, I do love making a spectacle of strange things, but this is just bait for who knows what kind of person to click it and then watch him react to a speedrun fail compilation. What kind of fish are you gonna catch with a worm like that on your hook? This kind. The kind that's into that stuff and will share the source for your viewers in the comments.
What's the source? Bro! What? You got people in comments sharing the source of it. What the fuck, bro? That's crazy. Listen, as you know, okay? As you know, I try my best to only pay heed to things which are worthy of paying heed to, okay? So I don't spend that much time looking at YouTube comments. DK obviously sends me a few here and there. Dude, it's still on the channel. That's nuts, dude. Fucking hell, man. That's crazy. But there have been a few Nux Taku fans that I think have filtered through in all of this, okay? Now I'm starting to understand the problem. This least pedophilic Nux Taku fan. Here we go.
Comments. Wait a second. That profile pic. Who's that little cartoon girl? I swear I've seen her before. Oh, how adorable. What a sweet child. I've also seen her in a thumbnail of a video on Nux Taku's nuxanor channel.
Oh my God!
A rather unwise reverse image search on Google eventually leads you to a hentai site page where the image, which features an erect penis that had just been cut off for the thumbnail, is tagged with, among other labels, imminent rape.
Oh my fucking God, dude, this is insane, bro!
Lowly. Further, on the topic of his viewers being inspired to seek the porn he showcases in thumbnails, although he does sometimes help them out by pinning the porn artist's name when it's commented, there is also a porn-sick fellow on the fan-run Nux Taku subreddit who goes by reality_false, who is a prodigious source poster for everything else. He posts the thumbnail and shares where the porn's from, or at least he did until he was apparently banned 3 years ago. That said, his posts still remain, meaning he functions as an archive for Nux Taku's changed or deleted dodgy choices from before that point. Like this. Hey look, it's our little friend again. The source image isn't tagged with lowly on the site it's shared on this time, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's a cartoon of an undeveloped teen or preteen hairless girl getting railed. Neat.
Dude, it's so obvious. It's the whole, oh guys, look how gross and disgusting this is, right? Like, the dynamic at play there, and obviously it can be done in a way that isn't anything to do with kids or drawn pictures of kids or anything, right? It's very simple. It's very simple, okay? You do something where you want to show people something, but act like you're not doing it. Like if someone has some racist meme that they send me, right? It's like, who sent me this? Oh, this is disgusting. Look at this racism. I totally disavow this, right? It seems obvious to me. It's a way of showing something to your audience whilst acting like you don't want to show it to them, right?
FYI, this whole video was deleted for some reason, so I don't know what was in it. By the way, that little shark girl, she's an avatar for a VTuber, and she's called Gura. Here's a little clip where Nux Taku mentions her.
There's lollies, which I have absolutely nothing against. I don't think anyone has anything against lollies, okay? Like Chibidoki or Megumin from Konosuba or Gura. Nothing has anything against lollies. It's lolly that's the gray zone.
He's very clear though, it's grey. It's not full pedo. His thumbnails aren't full pedo. It's sus, but they're just cartoons.
This guy's pinned tweet that he retweeted is this, all right? Look, it's lewd lolly stuff. That's a line, all right? Lewd lolly stuff, that's the gray zone. Not actual pedophilia, but the gray zone.
I'm a bit harsher regarding people who are aroused by depictions of children, especially depending on, you know, how realistic the proportions are, but I can tolerate that perspective elsewhere. I've heard him go into a bit more detail about his thoughts.
This is like one of those debates that in the anime community, it's so divided. Like, there are actual people that think it's not weird to fetishize lollies. I'm just saying. Definitely better to fetishize lollies than real-life children. That's not the debate, but that doesn't make it not weird and cringe and something that I would keep away from, you know, my kids, per se.
Quite a light tone. So I'm still not really buying the idea he'd have been super hostile to Shadman in a collab. Be real, it would have been light ripping. That any
Yeah, that is the reasonable conclusion I think over this.
None of this stuff would have come out about Nux if he didn't try to farm Ava for liking Shad's drawings.
True. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean that seems fairly obvious to me and fairly reasonable. Particularly like, you know, Lyric's questions went unanswered about this, but this narrative of like he was going to bring people on and press them super hard about this, it's just not true. It's very obviously a kind of light banter type situation, right? So yeah, I don't know. It just that is the obvious conclusion.
Any weirdo cartoon cunny connoisseur has heard a million times. But I wonder, how does that opinion play out in terms of letting children around the kind of people who use loli porn in their thumbnails to expose a mass audience to such material? Just a thought. One more little thing I want to peep before getting back on track a bit. Presumably with this being his take on loli, his take on cartoons, we could definitely expect him to be much more serious about questionable things involving real children, right?
Oh! Can I show this? Is this allowed?
Wait.
What the fuck was that?
That's not funny. That's the other thing. Extremely concerning. For clarity, the words I heard him say were, "So now you got all these underage kids on TikTok doing the things. Obviously solo, but the implication is there." And then straight into commenting on how catchy the song is. Teehee. I'm sorry. Kids mimicking a pornographic cartoon of an Animal Crossing character having sex on TikTok is not the kind of thing I'd use as a throwaway line in a video I'm making as a grown man, wiggling an avatar around in front of a censored porn vid. Children being drawn to adult material by use of a family-friendly IP and then being influenced to recreate it in videos for attention is spine-tingling. Masses of minors conditioned.
That's the most popular video on his channel. Right, this is fucked. This is totally fucked, dude. This is sicko shit. The nuxanor. Oh, there's like a second channel. Okay. I mean, still, dude, that's fucking insane.
Into producing soft-core chomo porn. This is a pedo's dream. Literally. There are jokes to be made, sure. Jokes to be made about everything, but just saying what's happening happily and lightheartedly, that's just normal and chill to Nux? For me, that's evidence we're in nightmare world. If you don't quite get what's spooking me here, here's Turkey Thomas explaining a relevant strategy used by pedos for you. Funnily enough, this clip features an image you might recognize.
EPI is a shorthand for early introduction, in which minors are exposed to adult content. They fantasize about perverting their innocence, often by utilizing Rule 34 to flood sites with a younger demographic. It's a form of fetish mining explicitly used to groom children.
Flooding a mixed audience site with adult material to introduce children to a kind of porn they might be more comfortable with, to hook 'em, huh? Interesting. Not suggesting this was Nux Taku's intent with these. Perhaps so many are removed because he realized how bad a look it is, or maybe it just became a YouTube problem.
This fucking freak got swept for, and it made me look like I was being a fucking retard. It's completely obscene. It is totally fucking obscene, bro. What the fuck was Mutahar thinking? This is fucking obscenity. This is totally obscene, okay? Moves were made that called into question the quality of my fucking reporting, okay? When I did nothing wrong, and Nux Taku is a total fucking freak. This is the guy you're fucking sweeping for? Seriously? Give me a fucking break, dude. Oh my god. Dude, I can't take it. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to be relaxed, okay? I'm trying to be fucking cool about this, but I'm fucking losing it right now, dude. Holy fuck, bro. This is shameful. This is fucking shameful, dude. Oh my fucking god.
Became a member. Commodore Chomp celebrates 3 months of membership. Chud is fair.
Bro, this is insane. This is totally insane, bro. Okay, just calm down. I need to calm down, dude. Anyway, guys, let's continue watching the video.
At some point. But what I would suggest is that his clickbait strategy shows supremely terrible judgment or recklessness, at the very least. Back to his TikTok comment. I find it concerning that children performing these actions on camera for anyone to see could represent direct success of this strategy. And even if it's not the direct outcome of this deliberate tactic, it's sickening that there's a system that nudges kids to produce material for these freaks.
The avatar was a dead giveaway. Deport all weebs.
I'm very angry at the moment, okay? I need to calm
that's
down,
wonderful.
bro.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Are we gonna make new podcast in Texas, sir? Nux did not do nothing bad, sir. I am Indian, sir. Please help.
Dude, it's just so crazy to me. It's just so fucking insane to me that, like, I did literally nothing wrong. And I was subjected to gutter retards telling me that I was wrong about something when I wasn't at all.
I was trying to tell you you were getting played. Don't get mad. Get even.
There is no getting even.
Welcome.
What do you retards not understand about this? There is no getting even. I cannot win, okay? Everyone involved has got massive channels. I'm a tiny little fucking fry in all of this, right? Bro, I can't win. What do you want me to win? I can't win. It's impossible for me to win. I can't do anything about this. All I can do is get mad about it, and that's it. Okay? There's nothing I can do except get mad about it and get annoyed about it.
Okay, lolly's a grey area. Alright, Nux. What do you think adults watching those kids on TikTok are? And remember, not to necessarily blame anyone who produces adult material that utilizes video game elements and tries to keep it in appropriate places, but just by these animations existing, you end up with commenters talking about them on parts of the web that do appeal to kids and which they freely access in a way that wouldn't generate parental suspicion, such as in the comments for game music that's been featured in such porn, perhaps directing them there. Forget the quote-unquote lowly grey area. Genuine, hardcore nonces love when things work out this way. Hear it straight from the pedo's mouth. Well, not Tom, but the guy he's quoting.
I love the idea of cute trying to play their favorite games. That's how I got a porn addiction.
But perhaps I've been premature. Maybe I've been unfair. Nux does continue to talk about that TikTok trend in his video. I'm sure he'll elaborate on the children he mentioned miming sex.
This is currently the most concerning trend on TikTok.
Is it really the most concerning trend on TikTok? There's literally a trend right now called devious licks, where people break into schools or are in schools and steal stuff. That is a trend on TikTok right now. But no, this is the most disturbing trend on TikTok. All right, dude.
Sorry, what? You're really going to tell me that kids are creating erotic dance material for pedos to enjoy, and then the follow-up is to downplay it? You can discuss which is worse, perhaps taking into account risk of injury, reputation, future ruination, blah blah blah. But why take a side so hard?
Well, more and more TikTokers have started to recreate that dance, and it's got people concerned. Basically, a lot of people are afraid that the dance is going to get really popular, and kids are going to start coming on the app and doing it and get targeted by predators.
No one's afraid of that. All right, maybe I'm not around TikTok enough, and I don't understand the ecosystem.
You don't need a degree in computer science for this, buddy. You told me kids are posting these videos. Who do you think might be watching?
But I don't think that people are afraid of kids being targeted by predators because they're doing a dance, okay? Kids are targeted by predators on TikTok for freaking breathing crooked. I don't think this dance is gonna push anyone over the edge, but that's just me.
Oh no, it absolutely will push them over the edge.
Oh my god, I'm sorry guys, I'm so fucking annoyed. I can't react. I'm too angry to react, bro. Dude, Nicandros said he's going to come on after this, so that'll be good content at least. These arguments from Harmful Opinions kind of suck. Pedos are going to enjoy anything kids post. The issue with that is that doing the dance, basically dog whistles, but you've seen the video, might be vulnerable. It's like a big red flag. It's like a big red flag. Nicandros helped with this video, and he's a chatter here, and Harmful Opinions, but he helped with this video. Yeah, it's like a red flag. It's like saying, oh, look, oh. You know, I've seen this thing and I could be vulnerable to something, you know?
And I mean that in a very disgusting way. Nux can comprehend the sus nature of loli and what it may suggest about those who enjoy it, but will tell us that kids are filming themselves mimicking...
Bro, it's like, you know, the problem is, okay, and this is why it's so frustrating, is it doesn't matter how correct you are about something, okay? I feel like I was correct about the fucking, what was it? The, what do you call it? Dark Viper shit, right? I feel like I was correct in all of that. But his massive audience basically squashes you. You're just fucked. You're totally fucked. And all you can do is make your case, you know, put up with a bunch of people brigading your comments for a while and then fucking leave it at that. These bigger creators, you cannot win. It is impossible to fucking win. At least I know if Nux Taku fans are coming in and leaving comments, they're probably nonsense, okay? I can take some fucking credit in that. But yeah, it's just frustrating. It is what it is. You know, I'll end the stream and I won't think twice about it. It is what it is. C'est la vie. It's just very frustrating.
Sex acts for anyone in the world to watch and can't understand intuitively why that's messed up, regardless of whether or not someone comes and abducts them. Not sure our boy's all there. On that point of what apparently seems normal for him, if even this sickening ecosystem is only cause for light-hearted comment and downplay, you'll have to forgive me again if my doubts regarding exactly how hard Nux would have grilled Shadman over lowly stuff continue to grow exponentially. Even without this little context detour, there was one man who doubted even without all this information.
Nux's audience didn't make me do anything, okay? There's no audience that makes me do something. You're misunderstanding what the issue is, okay? That's not what the problem is. The problem is that Mutahar came on my stream and he said something to me that then I, you know, utilized in the presenting of the video, or DK presented in a certain way for the video, and then all this stuff happened to basically sweep it away and act like it didn't happen, even though my understanding of it on the basis of what Mutahar said was totally reasonable and totally fair. But that then changed post hoc, and it made it look like I was fucking up and I was getting it wrong. Right? When I didn't do anything wrong. I literally just went off what I was told, and then all this stuff came out after that totally changed the narrative on it, that made it look like I'd fucked up somehow. I had to change the title, which was, you know, one piece of, it was an exclamation mark to a question mark. You know, and it's like, What did I do that was incorrect? And it's, you know, it wasn't like a massive deal for me,
that's
right?
wonderful.
It wasn't like
But
a big
how do I
thing where
make
loads of people
money off depressed people.
Chud is fair and bows to no one. Thumbs up.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Nux got Willie Mac and Tom to watch a hentai where a girl grooms a dog for his hentai game show and they acted like it was just a big joke.
So yeah, it's just frustrating to be told one thing and you go along with a certain content line off the back of that, and then things change after, and not just like you know, to the opposite of what you thought it was based on what was told to you. And then that makes it look like you've got something wrong, but you haven't, right? It's like, I don't know, changing the story after the fact to make someone look bad, even though everything I did and said was fair. And if anything, you know, I should have gone harder, but I didn't, because I was being, as always, as fair as I can be. But clearly there's more to this than I even knew that makes, you know, Nux's relationship with Mutahar completely fucking untenable. You know, how on earth can Mutahar have such a strong position on stuff when, you know, this is what his fucking supposed podcast pal is up to? Like, what the fuck, dude? Very frustrating. Very frustrating, you know, to be in that position. And the trouble you have is if you go too hard, people think you're going too hard. If you go too soft, people say you're going too soft. It's very difficult to find the right balance. The truth of it is, you just can't win. You cannot fucking win. All you can do is get angry about it and talk about it, and that's it. But you can't win. J Meta, thank you for the $50. Fan character. Oh my god, $50 super sticker. Thank you. Fan character jumping in the air in front of a big red heart with pom-pom in their hands. Thank you for the $50 super sticker. Very generous.
Remember from earlier, it was lyrics. Let's pick that back up now.
Appreciate the reply. If you have a history of doing many collabs for the sole purpose of trolling them, I think this is fair. Not gonna lie, when saying I was asking for a collab as a troll, it looks kind of bad. If that's what you've done before, it's believable. Well, this over here is a collab where I collabed with Kagi Films, a voice actor, and it was purely for the... I told him that we were going to get...
Blah, blah, blah. So Lyrics very fairly asks Nux, who claims he would only have Shadman on to troll him, if he has a history of bringing people on to mess with them, clearly meaning something like an ambush, really mess with them. Lyrics wants proof that Nux would treat Shadman rough, obviously. Here are a couple clips I've selected from the videos Nux uses to demonstrate he's a real stone-cold troll beast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The thing is, you're actually one of the best dub voice actors. Whenever I see you in a show, I'm always excited. Like, I unironically watch the Horimiya dub because I think you do such a good job.
Oh, thanks, man. It's a really cute show.
I usually watch anime and sub, but Horimiya, dude, you kill it.
Roll the clip of me killing the turtle.
Oh, he's very owned, and you clearly have no fondness for each other. Damn, what a killer.
Disclaimer! I swore that I would put this in the intro if the One Piece action adaptation looks awesome, and I'm not saying or confirming that anything happened behind the scenes, but it looks actually really cool, based on what I was told. All right, we're gonna just keep it like that for legal ambiguity.
No matter what he does after this point, this video is effectively an ad. Self-aware dick-sucking is still dick-sucking.
Bro, you don't even need to... Bro. You don't even need to be, like, obnoxious or rude. You can just ask a couple of pressing questions if that's what you want to do, right? I mean, dude, remember the fucking Colossus crazy thing? That now, looking back, seems weak. But at the time, that was actually quite strong. That was actually quite strong when it comes to challenging him at the time because of the level of unearned popularity.
The podcast is over, sir. I must depose, sir, that co-host Nux did unsavory action, sir. So podcast is withheld forthwith. Verb, adjective, verb.
Bro, stop with it. Listen, we need to chill on the... Cool, chill it with the anti-Indian remarks, okay? Jesus Christ. Anyway, good meme. Thank you for the super chat.
What this guy's calling trolling, I call extremely light banter, general mischief, shit I do, with people I like. He shows us stuff like tricking people into saying words so he can snip them together into a song, messing around with Deji. It's bog standard social media cross-promo. Him saying it's not doesn't make it true. It just means he's retarded or lying. I'll let you pick. The one clip he shows where he kinda goes in on someone doesn't even really count. It's Boogie2988. His brand is Punching Bag. So it's no surprise that Lyrics wasn't satisfied. He said, so I just looked through the 2 examples you gave me of the videos where you quote-unquote troll, and you lied to my face, dude. You shouted out both of them, said you had a fun time, and said they were cool guys. These vids are literally just promotion for them. Weird examples you gave to defend the Shadman collab request. Can you clear this up, dude? It seems you were completely dishonest to me in your framing here. And from these examples, I can only assume
gullible lyrics strikes again.
You would treat Shadman the same if you would have gotten the collab. Fair, I'd say. It's worse that Nux gave these examples than if he gave no examples at all. Sadly, as far as I can tell at the time of writing, Nux Taku didn't have time to respond to these ones. Odd. And this statement from Nux's video seems really odd now, doesn't it?
Collabs are not promotions or condonement in any way on my channel.
I don't think I like this guy. He gives me weirdo, slimy worm vibes.
Yes.
And you know what?
Oh my god, that's so true, bro. It's the slimy aspect of, like, you know, listen, everyone's done things they regret, okay? Everyone has got regrets and looking back in the past, especially doing this. But just be open about it. And just be honest about it. And don't misrepresent it. And don't lie about it if you choose to talk about it, right? And the thing is with this is he didn't even need to speak on the Shadman stuff. Right? He could have just been upfront and honest about it. But he wasn't. And now we've dug. And there's even worse shit. Yes, of course, this goes beyond just having a bit of a regret. This is like fucked up shit beyond that, certainly. But the point I'm just trying to make, basically, is just be honest about it. And you know, like, if it wasn't that big a deal, then why is there this attempt at obfuscation? Like, clearly you recognize there's something amiss here. Otherwise, you wouldn't try and obfuscate it, right? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I love Harmful Opinions. Great guy. Nicandros is based too. This is a great video. Very happy with this. Very high tier content.
Take back what I said at the beginning. Given such a severe mismatch between my values, my perspective on things, my judgment, my understanding of communication of things.
Confront Mutahar. Yes, of course. I would happily have a conversation with Mutahar about this on stream and hash this out. 100%. Because, you know, I do feel like I got done dirty. And, you know, especially with all this extra stuff that's come out. I mean, it's fucking insane.
And I wouldn't take his word on the general characterization of his Shadman interactions anymore, despite having been willing to give benefit of the doubt earlier.
I just scrolled back in my DMs from, how old is this? 1 second. 2020 with Shadman, because he sent me some wild shit.
To a man like this, what even counts as wild shit anyway? Knowing Nux Taku's level of tolerance, I doubt he's solely referring to the couple of messages he shared publicly. Do you really still believe, given just the few highlights I've shared, that he really thought Shadman was purely a freak specimen to be toyed with? Bear in mind, he claims during all of this he was unaware of the Keemstar daughter thing. So Shad to him was just an edgy lolly boy. Which brings me to one last little Shad nugget that made me chuckle.
Also, Nux used a censored picture of Shadman's porn comic of Arya Stark played by a child actor of Game of Thrones for a thumbnail. This is all wrong. Okay, so we'll just do this one first. So I did use Shadman art in a thumbnail once. I made a video talked about fucking awful Game of Thrones, cursed Game of Thrones memes. One of the cursed Game of Thrones memes that popped.
Dude, this all just feels like, oh, look how bad this is, guys, but I really want to show you this. Like, do you know what I mean, dude? It's so obvious. I've done it with racist memes and stupid shit that people have sent in. You know, here's a classic example. Ugly picture of a trans person. Okay? Someone links some horrendous looking picture of a trans, and I show it and go, nah, this is wrong. This is horrible, guys. This is really gross. Why are you doing this? This is so mean. Right? That's the whole fucking point of doing it this way. It's like plausible deniability of showing them something that, you know, is obviously bad. In that case, transphobia. But in this case, it's about weird lolly shit, which I think gives it a different fucking energy.
up when I looked up fucking cursed Game of Thrones fucked up shit on Google Images was a Shadman art, and I didn't even know it was a Shadman art when I used it. I got comments saying I recognized the Shadman art, etc., etc., and I changed the art, not last week to avoid drama, not yesterday so I could have a Zynga response video and make an apology. No apologies! I changed the art 2 to 3 years ago!
All right, seems true he changed it a long time ago. Whether you believe the way he found it or not is up to you, but we'll get to that.
Also, to make things worse, they say that I used a picture from Shad.
So you admit you're a racist, transphobic misogynist trying to create plausible deniability? Yes.
Porn comic of Arya Stark played by a child actress for Game of Thrones. Lies! It wasn't even Arya Stark. It was the freaking you know nothing Jon Snow girl. It was her. It was not Arya Stark. These people literally will go crazy out of every possible way.
Yep, seems true too. I'm not a Game of Thrones enjoyer, but seems correct. And I know it seems true because I checked, and I regret checking.
I knew about the lolly stuff and some of his art, like the bestiality with fictional children, etc.
Yeah, the collection of images the thumbnail pic came from includes such an example of...
You look very defeated. I mean, it's all well and good. This all getting shown. Right, don't get me wrong. Great, great. Yeah, Nux Taku is a total freak. But, you know, I mean, it's just annoying. It's just, I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed about the whole situation. You know? My guess is that Nux Taku is probably going to get dropped. That'll be my guess, right? That'll be my prediction, is I think this is going to end with him just getting quietly dropped from the show.
Child dog rape. Now, I'm not saying he's lying about his knowledge of the true source of the image. Who could prove that? But I do find it really funny that in the set, there are 2 versions of the girl he used. One more developed with larger breasts, and one with much smaller breasts, which could be seen as catering to a normal range of tastes, but given the artist becomes slightly sinister. What tickles me, you see, is that, of course, Nux Taku's old thumbnail used the less developed version. I do also have to explain another reason for my unprovable suspicion about his honesty. Back in the day, my exposure to Shadman was primarily just seeing people talking about him, and the only thing of his I remember ever seeing is drawings of Hillary Clinton as a lolly. However, in looking into recent drama, I have become more familiar with Shadman's style than I'd ever want to be. He's a freak, but he's a skilled freak, and he has a style. I'm not confident that someone steeped in drawn degeneracy wouldn't have known at a glance that the drawing Nux used in his thumbnail was by Shadman. In fact, his commenters noticed immediately, for instance. Maybe it was less that he realized it was Shadman, and more that he realized people pointing out so loudly that it's Shadman was an issue. Merely a possibility. Folks, at this point, forget roasting Shadman, forget trolling him. I think that guy's in jail anyway, the time has passed. Maybe this Nux Taku guy is the one in need of some flames. Seems like a soft target for ridicule to me. Ooh, maybe someone should troll collab him like he was gonna do with Shadman. Any podcast that would do something like that? Having said that, as you know, I'm not an, oh no, you gotta block the weirdos and potential creeps and never interact kind of guy. But he wouldn't be my first pick of teammate. I wouldn't have him as a consistent podcast member, just my taste. So when controversy flared, I wasn't surprised to see this. Mutahar, who ran a podcast with Nux Taku, talking to friend of the stream, ChudLogic, about it. Mutahar initially explained...
Oh my god! Okay. I must say, listen, I must say, there's a bit of hope here right now. Because, look, guys, oh god, this is so awkward, okay? I don't expect people to talk about shit, okay? Right, I'm just, listen, I'm going to put my fucking words out there, okay? It was a bit annoying when no one seemed to care about fucking Dark Viper except for, you know, certain people that are close to me. No one fucking made any content about it, bro. No one spoke about it. It was me on my own trying to fight a massive channel, trying to fucking crush me in legal fucking processes, okay? Very frustrating. And it's the same sort of thing here. It's like, was this not a fucking bigger story to talk about? Mutahar says to me he's getting rid of someone, it turns out that's not happening. Isn't that a bigger story that people would fucking talk about? What am I, chopped liver, bro? Esteemed Rolling Stone mentioned streamer, podcast, ChudLogic podcast. But it just feels like stuff that involves me, and I'm not trying to be big-headed about this. I'm not trying to be a dickhead about it. But it just feels like stuff just doesn't get fucking covered when it involves me, and it's fucked up. Am I fucking crazy here, bro? Am I, like, insane? Am I, like, being, like, entitled? I don't know, dude. It just feels a bit fucked. That people don't want to fucking speak about me under the boot of some massive fucking YouTuber in some way, dude. Oh my God, it's so annoying. I'm so glad Harmful Opinions are speaking about this because I feel this is fair. I feel like he's being fair in all of this. Okay? Okay, anyway. I don't want to make this all about me and, you know, whatnot, but it's just a bit, I get a bit peeved. Okay? I get a little bit fucking peeved. When I'm like, to me, I'm like, this seems a bit fucked. But then no one makes any content about it or speaks about it or gives any criticism. So I'm just kind of on my own. I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? But now Harmful Opinions is the Riders of Rohan coming in. Okay.
Explains his uncertainty about the situation.
He did tell me, like, they interacted before. I think it was, like, the collab shit.
Okay.
And from just, like, behind the scenes, he told me that this was all, like, a fucking joke or something at the time, which is, like, I never pressed so hard into that just because I have no knowledge of like how far his relationship goes.
In spite of the uncertainty though, things quickly got both spicier and muddier.
Are you going to keep him off the podcast?
No, we would cancel the podcast. It's not happening. The podcast is done.
This is hard because obviously, you know, people want me
Podcast
By
is
the
done.
way, from what I understand with this, okay, this is my fleshed out understanding of all of this, okay? This was the explanation, I think, that was made. The last episode wasn't going to happen, right? Because apparently this Shadman stuff had popped off and it'd be awkward and then the podcast format was going to change down the road, okay? But then that changed later because the final podcast episode apparently released. But then apparently the podcast episode that released was different to what it was supposed to be. So it just completely, you know, by that point I was just like, okay, this is fucking stupid. I'm just going to wash my hands of this. I think my words to DK were, make me look as not retarded as possible, because obviously the rug was completely fucking pulled out from under me at that point. And what could I say? What could I do? So I said to DK, just make me look as not retarded as possible, okay? Do what you can with it, because everything had changed so quickly. But yeah, I mean, dude, I just don't know how you can possibly justify working with Nux Taku on this level. Like, you know, I get personal relationships can cause issues, but fuck me, dude. This guy's a total freak.
But yeah, podcast is done now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the podcast is over. We are not filming the last episode. It's over.
Pretty nuclear statement in this context.
Is that are you serious?
Yeah, we're not doing the podcast anymore. It's done.
Why?
We're supposed to film on Tuesday. Well, there's a couple reasons for it. A lot of that was obviously some of the Shad stuff too, because we were kind of sitting there, we're like, me and Caleb, we were just like, this is, I don't know, it's weird. The other thing was we just want to redo things, maybe like 2 months down the road or something, between each other.
And apparently I'm in the wrong for thinking, we're saying, what? It's so crazy to listen back to it like this. In a video that's actually covering it fairly and talking about it. Yes, it is totally insane that I'm on the hook for anything with this.
And that's kind of where we're at.
This is the key snippet. Two things are mentioned. The podcast ending and an episode being cancelled. And two reasons are given. The Nux stuff being weird and an apparent plan they already had. Do the two reasons apply to both? Does one apply to one? Does one apply to the other?
Like Taku getting iced out. Sorry.
I mean, for me, for like Nux or whatever, like I talked to him and he's a good friend behind the scenes for sure. And this whole situation, like I would have to really look into more of his involvement and like everything. Like if you want to walk me through it, like I'd be completely fine.
And then somehow it gets even less clear, because despite such definitive statements, Mutahar is again expressing uncertainty.
Because the thing is as well, it's like, you know, I didn't fucking care that much about it in that, like, I literally just asked the question, right? And it could have been answered in any way. I don't fucking care. You could just say, oh, I don't want to talk about that. And I'd be like, okay, well, you know, I asked a question. What can I do, right? And then he drops it. And so I go off of that. And then apparently that's not true, allegedly, which obviously was just fucking sweeping. But, you know, it's like, and apparently I'm then in the wrong somehow. Bro, this is what happens when you tangle with big YouTubers. No matter what happens, you're wrong somehow. I don't know, bro. It's fucking magic as far as I'm concerned.
Before later, really homing in on the element of Nux Taku's character that irks me.
I feel like if he had any interaction, it should just come clean entirely. It does come across a little weird that he made a whole response, but he admitted that part. It's like, I think if you're in that camp, if you ever interacted with Chadman, just completely own up to it once, take the fucking L and move on. But that's just weird if you're not able to. I don't know. It almost seems like kind of like hiding an interaction for no real reason.
And then a later comment sounds even worse.
I mean, there's no reason to really hide it unless, like, the interaction was more deeper than it was initially let on, is what I would say.
There's more said than I've shown in these clips, but I think it's clear that while the specifics were murky, the tone was a little hardcore. It's easy to understand how people could interpret this in different ways, but there were one or two concrete statements, and I want to focus on this one.
Oh my god.
We are not filming the last episode, it's over.
Oh my
Cut and
god.
dry.
Wonderful.
It's over.
Bro, harmful opinions are so based. Thank you.
ChudLogic.
I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting anyone to really talk about this. But here we are with Harmful, absolutely fucking laying it out. Thank you, Harmful Opinions, for speaking on this, bro. Dude. Feels good. Feels good. How many views has it got, though? Oh, 10,000. Oh, it's got 10,000 views. Okay, well, that's a start. That's a start, at least. Okay, that's a start. Oh, okay. Don't get blackpilled. Don't get blackpilled, guys, okay? Don't get black. Styler, what are you saying? Drop in the pond. Don't say that. I'm trying not to be blackpilled, dude.
They're not filming the last episode. I think we ourselves can home in on that and say the cancellation of the last episode is probably down to the Nux Taku controversy regarding association with Shadman. But as with so many things that relate to Nux, even with this, there's slipping, there's sliding, there's sliminess. There did,
how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the $2 spoops.
End up being a final episode recorded and published featuring Nux. Which isn't the issue. I'm not saying, you said there wasn't going to be and now there is. No, it's fine. It's all right. You can change your mind. However, what bothers me is the blatant sweeping, as the kids call it, that accompanied this. One more example of spineless, subtly deceptive behavior to throw on the pile. You see, it must have been Nux Taku's lucky day.
Nice channel you have, Chud. Would be a shame if something happened to it.
No! Thank you very much, 333.
ChudLogic and a Twitter user, understandably given what Mutahar said and the way he said it, mischaracterized the situation. Chud's title stated Nux was kicked from the podcast, and the tweet claimed it was ending because of this controversy, which as we know now is not accurate. Nux seizes on this error in his defense video. He even has a big ol' yapping clip from Mutahar reinforcing that it's false. The podcast was not ending because of Nux. In fact, they intend to work together in the future if possible. Great. Looks true to me. What's the problem? That isn't all there is. That's not even necessarily the juiciest part. The announcement of the episode cancellation sounded like a snap, in-the-moment emotional decision. And the reason for that at the time was most definitely the controversy, as confirmed on another ChudLogic stream by Mutahar's other half via Super Chat.
Oh, okay. Right. So the truth is, this is Dojangle saying this, I believe, okay? So, oh, dude. Is this it? Is this true? Can we say this? The last episode was the reason it wasn't filmed because of the Shadman stuff, but the podcast was ending anyway. And the way Mutahar explained it made it sound like the podcast was ending because of that stuff, but it was actually the fact the last episode wasn't being filmed because of that stuff, and it was going to end anyway. Is that it? Is that the fair assessment of this?
Doe confirms this characterization as accurate, though it's worth noting her super chat says it was the reason at the time. Following this, Chud perceptively notes.
So yeah, it feels like what this does then, it enables it to be like, well, it's not ending because of me, but then if it is true that the last episode wasn't filmed because of the Shadman stuff, I mean, that is worth a mention, right? But he's probably not going to mention it because he can just focus on the, well, it was going to end anyway. It was going to end anyway type thing.
Yep. He lays it out again.
I think it's probably true the podcast was ending anyway, and it's just the final episode isn't being recorded because of this little drama that happened with the Shadman stuff, right? Bro, you must understand something. The reason that I kind of threw my hands up in the air with this is after this stream, as it was ending, I saw comments about this, and then I verified once the stream had ended because it was like literally right at the end, I think. An episode came out!
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chuddy babe, we love you, bro. Please don't go back to Lawrence. We'll goon to all of your videos. Plaza, don't leave.
That is very generous. Thank you for the $50. What does that mean, though? I don't understand what that means. But anyway, thank you very much for the $50. Super chat. Very generous. Like, bro, you've got to imagine. I end the stream, and then it's like, oh, they did release an episode. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to fucking do with that?
During this, Doe chimes in to say that the last episode has, in fact, been recorded. They backtracked, as we know because it's been released at this point, with a full cast. The otherwise perceptive Chud misses this in chat and proceeds to theorize.
Like, clearly, to me, what this seems like is, like, they don't want to fucking burn Nux Taku super hard over this. So they're giving this little out of, like, we'll make it about the podcast ending without really talking much about the reasoning for the last episode not getting filmed. That's what it seems like to me.
To which Doe replies and confirms they don't want to burn him. They're still friends. Or friends looking out for friends. So it's a sweep. A minor sweep, but a sweep nonetheless. Last episode was originally going to be cancelled over creepy shit. Into the memory hole. That statement was never made. And while they do briefly help Nux out with the drama at the start of their last episode, nothing about Mutahar's original intent or statement of cancellation is mentioned as far as I can tell. Never happened, I guess. Doesn't matter. Not pertinent to direct discussion of the drama that was directly responsible for this episode being planned to never occur. In fact, I feel really sleepy. Maybe Mutahar never had those feelings or said those things that thousands of people have heard. I must be mistaken. To me, this is one more little tiny PR asswipe for the guy who constantly needs spot cleaning when his butt gets too dirty. Look, it's cool to have internet video friends, but when that means clearly strategizing to manipulate an audience's perception of reality to their benefit, it rubs me the wrong way.
Based, thank you!
Once you're creating mass
Holy
media,
fuck, man! Thank you, fucking dude! I cannot express how thankful I am that someone's actually fucking covered this and said this shit, bro! I feel vindicated. I do, listen, I do feel vindicated, bro. I do feel a bit vindicated. Because, guys, my DMs with DK were like, oh my god, the episode came out, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to make of this, just do what you can with it, make it so I don't look retarded, okay, I'm fucking done with this shit. No one else was talking about it. Fuck off, Starter! Yes, I am dick eating. No one else was talking about it. Guys, you need to understand something as well, okay? When you think something is a big deal, and you look around at other creators, and no one's talking about it, you kind of just end up concluding, oh, I guess it isn't that big a deal, right?
Off depressed people.
You kind of just go, okay, well, I guess maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it isn't as big a deal as I'm making it out to be. And you don't want to be like some fucking nutter. You don't want to become Dark Viper, banging on about something that no one else cares about, you know? So you just kind of go, okay, well, there's no point. You might as well just move on, you know? True DK, yes. The DK's, you know, rigorous titling made this happen. Okay. Anyway, let's finish
clearly
off.
strategizing to manipulate an audience's perception of reality to their benefit. It rubs me the wrong way. Once you're creating mass media, once you're broadcasting to people, that's not being a good friend. That's called being compromised by friendship. Though, to be fair, friendship might not be the right term. Think about it. We saw in that interview.
Personal friends, pretend behavior isn't. Sweepery, Muta must accept his bias untrustworthy. He uses his credibility when said credibility clearly now twice over in question, now.
Thank you for the super chat. I mean, Nicholas, dude. Listen, I love Nicholas, okay? Don't get me wrong. Me and Nicholas friends, I would say we're friends. But it was obviously confusing to get a third party, like that just added to the confusion, right? But I don't think Nicholas intentionally did that. I think if anything, Nicholas, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there is genuinely another story that's happening in the background of the podcast. I don't know too much about it. It's to do with like ownership or something. So there is genuinely another thing going on, but I just think that was kind of used as a excuse in order to obfuscate from some of this stuff, you know? But yeah, I don't think Nicholas really did anything that wrong. I mean, you know, even if he did, it would be a small blemish in an otherwise impeccable record.
Mutahar might not be compromised by friendship. Though, to be fair, friendship might not be the right term. Think about it. We saw in that interview, Mutahar didn't really know what was happening, but was ready to knee-jerk throw Nux Taku under the bus. Controversy? Who? Not doing the last episode, even though that's a really, really bad look for Nux Taku. Maybe Mutahar's explanation was so garbled out of panic. The worst of both worlds. Memory holding what happened because it's a bad look for your associate, but they're not a close enough associate really to have not knee-jerk screwed them on a live stream in the first place, which you then need to pretend didn't happen. It's a real shame that Chud chilled on it after getting his answers so quickly, for some reason. I think there was plenty more fun that could have been had. This isn't even really a high-pressure thing. The stakes aren't that high for Nux Taku. It's not like much of his existing audience would turn on him over a Shadman association, regardless of how tenuous or close it may be, or because large creators cancel a show over it, making it look like they're judging him. Just look at what's enticed them to click on videos over the years. They'd probably be into it. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.
Yo! Based. Classic ending. Classic ending.
Funny that in the set,
classic. I literally soy-faced. Oh. I do feel very vindicated, okay? Nicholas, don't worry about it. You're fine. It's still good. You're not really, dude, it's not that big a deal. Okay, don't worry about it.